Our next presenter has been a lot of things in our community, not the least of which former wing commander at Kingsley Field, former state legislator, and was also the chair of Klamath Vision 2002, Colonel Steve Harper.
Welcome. Thank you very much.
We love having you in paradise.
I love being in paradise.
Troy wanted me to chat a little bit about the military hook here. I know you guys don't do a lot with it, but I just wanted to leave you with something that before I get started, Jules, particularly in 8 years in the legislature, out of all the meetings and conversations, which unfortunately were more than I really wanted to do, I never once had anybody from upstate look me in the eye and say, we're going to screw Klamath because we don't like you. It never, ever happened, and it never will. What happens is they don't think about us. They're busy. They live a long way away. They don't do the same things we do. They don't live the same way. They have a different value system in some respects. They just don't think about us. So you always, when you're in the room and if you're at the table, you say, oh, wait a minute. We're doing it this way because they go, well, that makes sense. Sure, we'll do that. So Chip, this thing you guys came up with, the City Club Dynamite, you know, it's a short distance for us to get up there. It's a 3-day trip for them to get down here. we just have to make the trip. We have to be at the table. We have to be in the conversations, and it'll happen if you're there. If you're not there, you might get screwed, but it won't be on purpose. The result might be the same. Anyway, the military, the base out here, it's an Air National Guard base. We built it. I was in the Pentagon when we built it. I built myself a job. I always think that's very cool. I've been excited about that for 2 decades now. The base, it's an Air National Guard. It's a fighter base. It's a training base. The U.S. Air Force put it in Klamath Falls primarily because of this, what you see out the window. When you're training kid pilots, you want them to be able to see the ground most of the time. Or you might not have as many as you started out the day with. So the weather here. The other thing that really, I was on the site survey team. We went around the country, 5 different bases, and we left Klamath Falls. We left with a feeling of that's a community that likes the military. We have historically had a tie-in with the military since World War II, when it was a Navy fighter base. So it's a good community. It's a tight community. They like the military. They have great weather. We had a good infrastructure in place. And that's why it wound up here. It's not in Portland, so a lot of times they don't think about it. Very interesting fact, when BRAC, the Base Closure Commission, went through, they were going to close Portland and keep Kingsley open. So I know that you won't hear a lot about this in the state legislature, but when you do, and if you do, just remember that the base here is a very important part of this community, economically, socially, psychologically, and it's very important to the state and the country, and just keep that in mind, and we'll be chatting with you if something comes up in a negative sense. But welcome, we're glad to have you.